Before I can show you how you can write programs using files in C, it is important to understand a few concepts and common keywords which come into picture when you're working on files. The first word you will quite frequently see when you're looking at any prototypes of a file functions like fopen, or you're looking at fgetS, fscanf, fprintf, you'll see this word called as stream. Stream can be your keyboard, it can be your monitor, it can be your file, it can be your array. So stream simply means the source of input or output for your program. Now we have all used a lot of streams so far without realizing it was called stream. Your keyboard is an example of a stream because your keyboard is an input device. Okay, so your keyboard is an input stream. So the standard input device in C programming is your keyboard, and the standard input stream happens to be your keyboard. Example of your standard output device or your standard output stream is your screen. Similarly, when we are writing programs, when we are getting errors, the errors were shown on your screen. Therefore, the standard error or the standard stream showing you the error is also your screen. So we have three default streams we are constantly going to talk about. The first default stream or the source of input happens to be your standard input, which is your keyboard. The next default stream or source of output happens to be your screen. That's why it is called std out. And the third stream, which is also the source of your output, is called as standard error, which happens to be your screen. In place of standard in, we can take input from an array, file, etc. So the standard in can be changed. In place of writing on the screen, we can write to the hard disk, we can write to an array. So you can even change your standard out. Same, instead of getting the error on the screen, you can write the error to a file. All this will be clear as and when we start taking a look at some piece of code. Now, before we jump into writing programs, I need to just explain a few important concepts. So before you actually start to open a file, process a file, write onto a file, read onto a file, you need to do something like this. What is this something? I need to declare a pointer of the type file. I'll let you know what is this file in a minute. So fptr, this is a user defined variable. You can give fp, you can give ftr, you can just give fr, whatever it is, it's up to you. So star fptr indicates that fptr is a pointer to a file type of a data. So what is this file? File happens to be a structure which is declared in your standard header file, that is stdio.h. This structure has various information which I'll tell you in a minute. So before commencing to process a file, we need to see that every file is associated with the file pointer. So the star fptr is a file pointer. So what is this file pointer? File pointer, this particular fellow, if you open up stdio.h, file is nothing but it is a structure declared in the header file which contains information required for processing file on a disk. Now this is a very big word, holds information relevant to the file on the disk. Now what is that information? So let's look at the first step. I declare fptr as a pointer to a file type of a structure which is declared in standard header stdio.h. First thing what I should do is, using fptr, I try to use the fopen function to open some file, let us say for writing for the first time. So this is the syntax of fopen. Fopen, this is the name of the file. You can even specify the path, like you can say d colon backslash some file.txt and so on, comma, write mode. So first you open this. If for some reason it's not able to write, fptr will take a value null. So you need to check whether you're able to open the file. Now let's try to understand this file pointer fellow. This file pointer fellow is extremely important. He is declared in standard io.h. This file star, that is as fptr, is the key link between your code and all the streams. The streams can be input, output, keyboard, your hard disk, all of that. So this FPTR is the important link between your program and the different streams. The different streams can be input, output and error, which is keyboard, hard disk, screen and so on. Now, what is this file star? As I told you, file star is nothing but it's a pointer to a structure. This structure file has been declared in stdio.h. Now, what all does this fellow really do? The advantage of using this file pointer or this structure type of a variable is it keeps track of where we are currently reading or writing in the file. What is the position of read and write? Suppose I am writing here, it will tell me you are here. Suppose I am reading here, it will tell me you are reading here. Then very importantly, it will identify each file uniquely with the operating system. For example, we have given the file name here in this case as sumfile.txt. The operating system doesn't really know what is this sumfile.txt. It will give an identification unique number to this. So the number of this could be 3536. So in this structure, this file will be identified as 3536. For me and you, it is sumfile.txt. For the operating system, it is 3536. So that unique ID number, or called as file descriptor, is going to be in this FPTR. FPTR is going to contain the current position of the file, the unique identification of the file, whatever the operating system is using, so that it's able to link your code with the operating system file ID. Now, there are many things in this particular structure. It just goes beyond this course to tell you what all is in the structure. If you're curious, just go open stdio.h and see this file structure. You will get an idea of it. You may understand almost nothing of it, but that's okay. The whole idea of having that file pointer is you don't have to deal with the complications of working with the hard disk, operating system and so on. It provides you something called as an abstraction. Abstraction means it provides you just features where you can directly work with the file without having to know details of the hardware, details of the operating system and so on. Abstraction means when you are trying to hide complexity from a user, that is known as abstraction. If this file structure was not there, then you would have to know what type of hard disk it is, where data is stored in the hard disk, how to interact with the OS and all. Because of this file star FPTR or file type of a pointer, you are just talking to a file as though you are working with a normal program. So this file pointer makes our life very easy. Therefore, it provides or it hides all the complications associated with the file. For you, file is simply a series of data or series of bytes coming from somewhere. So that's what it creates. Now, when you're typing from the keyboard, it's a series of characters. So when you use this file star, you begin to feel as though you are getting input from the keyboard without really entering anything. So it hides all the complications of the operating system and the details of how the file is to be talking to the program. And that is the advantage of using this pointer to a file type of a structure. So I hope you have got a little bit of fair idea about what we are going to get here with. Just don't worry if you don't understand everything of this. A lot of it in programming is once you begin to write a number of programs, things become more clear. So don't let these things really stop you. Just start using them without understanding a lot. Don't wait till you're going to understand. Programming is a little funny. A lot of things you don't understand till you program, and a lot of times you feel, how do I start writing when I'm not understanding? So don't get into that confusion. Start typing and writing code. Once you begin to blindly use them the way they are given, and over a period of time things will make sense to you.